This is Albert, and here at the studio at Cash Now Home Studio with Mark Anderson, Jorge Trevino, and Georgia Placado, all from the Expanse team and Cash Now Homes. Want to welcome everybody to Triple M.
Making money.
Making money podcast. How's everybody doing?
We're good.
Good, thank you. It's good to be back in the studio and doing this.
Yeah.
I know we've gone on a hiatus. For those that listen and watch us, we've been busy.
Yeah.
COVID has totally taken over our lives for the most part, and we've been doubling down.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
saying.
expanding as much as we
COVID hasn't really taken much of our stuff down.
Actually,
Arizona, yes.
I wanted to do this part at the beginning of this, good. So since we have been doubling down, all of a sudden we got sponsors.
We do.
We got sponsors. Look at that. So links below if you want some information. But these are the services that we actually use. So batch services. So for lists and skip tracing, all of that information, they'll go ahead and help you out. Just click the link below. You get, I think it's 15% off on all of that. Leads to cash. All of your cold calls and VA virtual assistants that you need on there. Very inexpensive. They do all of the hard lifting on it. So they'll make the phone calls. They'll make the offers, write up the contracts, all that stuff for you. We also have a mentor. Ooh, yeah. So click below, find out more information and you'll get 20% off of the mentoring program that we have right now, and the Expanse real estate team for all of your real estate needs. So buying, selling, investing, we're here for you.
We are also growing, so if you are a realtor in the Arizona area, feel free to reach out to us. We have leads.
We have leads. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yes.
So elaborate. I mean, go ahead. I'll let you take the lead on that, and then.
So when we first started the podcast, we talked about how we were diving into Wisconsin as a wholesale company and things like that. COVID happened. Things started shutting down, really dramatic there in Wisconsin. Like, they completely shut the state down in general. Not many people listened, but they still shut it down for the most part. So we decided we're going to buy property. Mm-hmm. And so we ended up, during COVID, buying 5 different properties, a couple duplexes and a few single-family homes.
Right.
It's been amazing, amazing journey.
And fix and flips, wholesale, and rentals.
And we collected 100% of the rent, right?
We did.
Right.
100% of the rent. 100%. Some of it was a little late, but we still got 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. At first we were nervous, like, are we going to collect all the rent or not? And then, tenants pulled through. They came in, either took advantage of some programs that Wisconsin had available, or they went back to work. So
good. Yeah, and then that was also another thing. Yeah, we doubled down on our systems too.
We did.
I just remembered that's another sponsor that we have that we didn't write down on here. Cash Now Systems. All right, but yeah, we doubled down on our system, so now we're able to track our KPIs. We're able to track more of our leads. We're able to track all of that, and that's helped us out. We invested in ourselves during this COVID crisis,
we did.
And based off of that, so far it's working. Right? We don't know what the next month has. We barely just got out of the lockdown supposedly, and but so far 5 properties. We took a couple of wholesale properties down. We're still making money in this economy right now, and it's been good, and we've been blessed. So
if you guys are just stagnant, trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen in COVID? Do I stand still? Do I pull back? Do I go forward? Obviously, feel your comfort level, but what we've done is double down, and we are profiting majorly from it.
We're doing really well. So and then
we have our special guest here, Jorge Trevino, one of our team members that just joined the team. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Jorge. Introduce yourself.
All right. Well, I'm Jorge Trevino. I've been an agent for 2 years, but been in the business since 2016. I was doing fix and flip before becoming an agent.
Oh, okay.
and it's been quite a journey. After I got my license, it took me like a year to get my first
deal.
No, like 7 months to get my first deal going.
What were you doing in those 6-7 months?
Yeah, that was a problem because I didn't know much about lead generation or anything like that.
Okay.
So I wasn't doing much, and of course my lead generation was absolutely zero. So my clients were absolutely zero.
Yeah.
And the clients didn't start until I started doing some lead generation.
Okay.
And I did very basic. I started calling for sale by owners on Zillow.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I got a bunch of deals that way.
Okay,
Nice.
good.
Yeah, I went from 0 to 7 deals in like 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice. For sale by owners?
Yep.
Very nice. Very
So
nice.
how did you approach the for sale by owners? Did you just say, if I get a buyer, can I bring them to you? Can I list your property? Like, what was your tactic in getting those deals?
I was just letting them know the advantage because there were certain people out there that have a very demonized version or point of view of the realtor.
Yeah.
That's true.
A lot of them think that we're after their money, and for doing nothing, we get a lot of money and stuff. But it's not doing nothing. We do a lot actually.
Yeah.
Things that they can't even comprehend sometimes, and that's why they don't use us. So my strategy was like, yes, I'm a realtor. This is another, this is probably the 100th realtor that you get in touch with, but please give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then my speech was how the system works, how we take a listing and then we upload it to a bunch of websites like included Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, all of those. And then it was very difficult to negotiate my commissions. None of them were doing 3%. So I had to negotiate that, and they were my first deals. So I didn't care. Mm-hmm. Actually, I met 2 investors that way that I still do business with today.
Right.
That landlord that was in Tucson. The same investors. And that's it. That's how I started. Just letting them know how they can take advantage of our system and our expertise.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Putting in the work. Mm-hmm. You were in there putting in the work pretty much. Yeah. And you're right. A lot of people don't think that we do a lot, but not only. Having a license and listening with a realtor also comes with knowing the legalities and everything. Make sure you don't get into trouble, get sued, or anything like that they don't see. Yeah. All they think we do is write a contract, but there's a lot of stuff.
One of the things that I learned by doing this was, and again, my strategy was to let them know what we do.
Yeah.
Was, okay, I'm interested in your house. Can you send me the contract? What title agency are you going to use? And can you send me the SPDS and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So I just put a mouthful out there.
Yeah.
And the seller was like,
what?
Like, what is this? What are you talking about?
What are the documents?
Yeah. So that way I made him understand that he can, but it's better to sell his house with a realtor.
Right. And all those documents protect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what they don't. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand. Yeah. I get it.
You're giving them representation.
Correct.
When they don't have representation.
That's very good. Yeah. So how has your business been doing with all this COVID-19?
Well, I thought 2020 was going to be my year.
Everybody thought that.
Because 2019 was pretty good. So no, it's been slower than 2019. I got a lot of momentum and experience in 2019, and I said, this is it. But it definitely stopped my momentum. Yes, okay. The market's still going. My momentum's still going. I still get leads. I still get deals. But it's very slow. A lot of people are very hesitant to sell. Sellers are thinking, especially if they are in the house, living in the house, they don't want to see anybody in their house with the
COVID, with the virus.
And then sellers, and then buyers. Some of them are thinking that the market is going to crash. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen for them. So, my advice to them is, if you're planning to buy, because right now the interest rates are better than they used to be before COVID. So, it's a good opportunity for buyers, and also it's a good opportunity for sellers, because even though it's slowed down a little bit, there's a bunch of buyers. We are.
Like I was saying earlier, I mean, I put in offers constantly, and I get outbid quite a bit. So it's like the market is still hot. We might not have as many properties, but we still have buyers.
Correct.
So at least here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what I'm noticing a lot with Arizona, though. Is that inventory is depleting itself a lot, and there's just nothing coming to market.
It's really low.
I don't think I've ever seen it this low.
Yeah.
Maybe before the big boom, or not boom, but bust. But I mean, it fell apart for reasons out of people's control.
Yeah. I guess I can see that. I mean, buyers don't have to go. You don't have to go into buyer's house. You actually go into seller's house. So more sellers are hesitant to put their market because they don't want
they don't want to get infected.
Right. Yeah, they don't want all these people going through their house. And a buyer is going to somebody else's house.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm coming through with solutions. I'm like, okay, you're really interested in selling? Send me the pictures. Right? Okay, fine. I don't want to go into your house either. So send me the pictures. Let's look at it and let's make a deal.
Video.
You know what I mean? Send me the video.
Take a video.
Right. Sell me that house. Right.
Well, shit, we're buying houses in Wisconsin.
Right.
Definitely not walking those properties on a daily basis.
Exactly. And the funny thing is for the buyers is like, the thing about it is for investing, right? Okay, so for my failures and my achievements, like a bottom is never going to look like the way that you think it's going to look, right? Yeah, so you're maybe that buyer's, I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Well, when the market crashes and there's no money for anybody to buy anything, you're not going to qualify. That's
you're not going to be able to buy either.
That's one thing. And then another thing is that everybody knows that we're at the top of the market. This may be the bottom for Arizona. Right? This was the discount. That's it. We don't know, right? Unemployment, is a lot of people are unemployed, and it's unfortunate, and things may happen within the next 6 months that are going to impact values. If you're not working on that right now, you're not looking ahead for the next 6 months, right? So that's the whole thing. So so your buyers, let's get them pre-qualified, get them approved, get them ready, because they need to be ready when the market crashes. They need to be ready to jump on that opportunity. And rates are low. If they're going to continue to be low and then the prices drops, what happens if you don't have the money in your hands? Right?
Exactly.
You can't take advantage of it. So
the market crashes, the lenders go away.
Right. Exactly.
We even noticed that on the wholesale investing side is, as soon as COVID started happening, all our hard money lenders gone. Private investors started holding back.
Everybody's like, I'm worried. One or two.
And I saw that also with retail. I did get some buyers that had like 580s, 620s, and they couldn't get PPAs. So it's unfortunate, but for those who have 640 or more, now's the time.
Now's the time. Did you experience any retail lenders that went away?
No,
me either.
Went away.
It just got tighter. Like Chase.
You're right. And they got tighter.
Bank of America's kind of cracked down a little bit, but they just got tighter. That's all.
I know, and so I still have my mortgage license. I just so that I can keep up with what's going on. All the subprime lenders, a couple of them shut their doors. So subprime lending.
Right? Subprime lending.
Subprime lending. If you couldn't do FHA, VA, conventional, you're out of the game. You're out of the game. You're going to close your doors. So some of those subprime lenders got their approvals to change over to do those types of financing, but I know of 5 lenders that just shut their doors.
Wow.
They waited it out for 30 days, but at the end of 30 days they just shut their doors. They were done.
Well,
because I mean
they're expensive and then nothing coming in.
Right, and they have their credit lines, right, and their chances are they're still probably paying on that interest. So credit lines are back though. Credit lines are back.
You're one of those.
One or two.
Exactly.
There's a grapevine. One of the major subprime lenders is back, and so then money is coming back into the market. So once again, that may have been the bottom. We might be at the end of the bottom.
And then
we don't know,
with
right?
all these new bills coming out, rent-free, basically rent-free, mortgage-free for a year. I mean, that's gonna put a stop to foreclosures.
Yep.
That's gonna put a stop to a lot of the stuff. So
if there is going to be some type of bust and the market takes a dip, it's not going to be right now.
Yeah.
If that bill passes, you're looking a year from now at minimum, and by then there could be so many different programs because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac just came out with. If you do go into deferment, and this is right now, this isn't a bill in White House or anything.
Forbearance, right? Yeah.
You go in forbearance, you can throw it right on the back end.
Right on the back end. Yep. I saw something from, and I didn't get a chance to read the whole entire email, but even if you are in forbearance, you're able to refi out of it.
See?
That's good.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's going to be tough for the market to crash if all these lenders can't do anything even if you don't pay.
Right. Yeah. If the lawmakers are making laws to avoid that. To avoid it, right? Yeah. So they're opening it up so that, people, landlords can now go ahead and make adjustments and take advantage of the rates.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, back in 2008, that wasn't the case. It was like, if you're not paying, then they're going to foreclose on you. There was no...
The bank's going to foreclose on you, and then the bank's going to foreclose on itself because it doesn't have money to foreclose on you. Pay the attorneys. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's going to foreclose on the bank. And it was a big chain of effects.
And this year and this time, they're coming up with all these bills that it's going to avoid all that. So it's like...
Well, the banks aren't lending like they were back then either.
Yeah, that's true.
There are no standard loans. It's not the housing market.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is a different market. So even if they do those bills, it's not going to be a big if it would have done those bills back then.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And one of the major differences here is that right as soon as COVID happened, all lawmakers were jumping on the Poppy Trump chain. Right? Hey, let's get some stimulus. Let's start printing money. Let's put money back into the economy. They're all for it because they know what happened in 2008. Everything slowed down. So, if our lawmakers are out there and they're saying print money, let's get stimulus, get stimulus going. Yeah, double down.
Exactly.
I mean, everything is pointing to, you know what? You bust your butt right now because this is where millionaires are made. This is where money exchanges, right? So this is it. Yeah. So and then going forward, right?
Cool. You're talking about doubling down. I mean, that's a word that we've already this episode used multiple times.
Right.
The last month and a half for you, Jorge, has been pretty impressive from what we've been seeing. So what are you doing? What's working? What's not working?
I can't tell. I don't know.
You're just going out there hustling and trying to get the business. Yeah. Which is good. You had 2 closings last week, right? Which is freaking awesome, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, you're just going out there and you're just hustling and...
Yes.
And that's the mentality you should have.
You have a 1.3 million, is it?
1.9.
1.9 million. Holy
Mark, get it right. 1.9, all right?
It's my record.
Yeah.
That's the highest.
It's a lot that you have under contract.
And that's a listing,
very impressive.
Right?
Yeah,
that's a listing, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Dude, there's so many agents out there that would just wish that they had that.
Yeah.
Right? That would wish to be in your shoes, man. That's awesome.
And text messages work well for me.
Okay.
I'm just blasting residential, commercial, whatever I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people call me.
So are you doing text blasts then, is what you're saying, or are you just texting them manually?
No, text blasting. Yeah, it's hard to do one by one.
Right.
I used to. No, really.
Yeah.
Do it. I used to do it, but it takes all day.
Oh,
it takes
yeah.
all day,
Sure.
and then the carriers don't like that.
Yeah. So what are you using or utilizing to?
What tool?
Yeah. What tool for your text blast?
Scipio.
Okay.
All right. I've heard of that.
Yes.
I heard it's good.
Scipio. Yeah. It's
I think I heard it from you.
It's $200 a month for 5,000 text messages.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And then how many what's the amount of data that you have that you're text blasting?
About 4,000 a month.
4,000?
Wow.
Text message. Well, not 4,000 numbers.
Right, but that's the data that you're reaching.
Yeah, I never reached 5,000.
Okay.
But from all of those, you got to do it for a couple hundred at a time.
Yeah.
And from all of those, I only get a couple.
Okay.
A month.
Yeah.
A couple leads a month, and I get also also sellers and stuff. So it's a good tool. It's been working for me.
Okay, good.
I will continue to use it. But other than that, I really don't have a big strategy other than providing a good service.
Yeah.
Just being out there for always on the phone. If the phone rings, answer it.
Yeah.
Answer it now, because 5 seconds after somebody else is going to answer it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Just provide the service. Be of service.
I've had 3 phone calls that I missed. I'm like, right now.
I know you gotta turn your phone over,
Right.
and okay,
Just to do the bot.
Hey, do it just like what it says, text.
I know you're the one that texts in here, so but okay. So then, right when we used to do our text blast as well, we noticed we would have to do it in 500 people increments, because then the response back take forever, right? So you kind of also figured that out. You did the test blast at 4,000 at first, and then you're like,
did 900 once.
right? And then you're like, oh my god,
like 2 hours to stay on the computer because everybody was answering. Most people were saying no thanks or cuss words or this and that, but there's a couple among the 300 text messages that I got back that said, I'm interested.
Yeah, and those are the ones you don't want to miss.
No.
Yeah.
And then your approach is it so I had success with the indirect approach, right? And so when we were doing that, it was hey, we're looking at buying properties in your area. We may be interested in some. Do you know anybody that might be interested in selling their home, right? And then I would get responses, no, not at this time, or tell me more. I might be interested in selling mine, right? So what was your approach when you're trying to text those out?
The shorter the better. So I know that it works for me. Okay. The shorter the text, the better. So it was something like, are you the owner of such and such? Would you be interested in selling?
Okay.
Things like that.
Very
also, something that I've been using lately is I go to Canva and I make a little image with a lot of information. So it's like a little square like this, like 200 by 200, or maybe a little bigger, 3 by 300. And I put a lot of text, but it's an image.
Oh, okay.
So I put a lot of text in there because the text message with a lot of text takes like 2 or 3 text messages for some carriers.
Yeah, I know.
Especially like in Spanish, if you have special characters, like an ñ could mean a second text message.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So what I'm doing lately is I am creating a little image with text.
Oh,
and then I send the image.
So it's just one.
You're making an ad for a text.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's an ad.
That's really good.
Awesome. Nice.
So they open it up and see the ad.
Yep, and really, it is an ad because it does have my the Lex logo and
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. You said with
my phone number.
Canva?
Canva.com.
Canva.
That's good, man.
It's a free image media tool. It's a website.
Oh, okay.
It is an app, but the app is I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
I like the
So you do it online.
more options.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
That's pretty cool, man. That's really good. Instead of them getting all these messages because the text is so long, it's just one image.
It's just one image. Like, this is what we can do for you, and that works well with for sale by owners and buyers.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right on.
also I am combining.
Do you have 2 images? I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. 2 images, one for sellers, one for buyers, right? Okay.
Yep. Okay. It's like a little flyer, like a little mini flyer. And also I'm combining my experience with wholesale and retail. So what I do is I go to a title agency and I ask for all of the names of the renters at certain
subdivision or something?
No. Complex. At a complex. So they have the power to pull that data.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I skip trace it.
Yeah.
And then I text them.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm texting everybody at a certain complex.
You want to get out of your 7,000 or 700 square foot apartment?
Yep. Now is the time to buy. Tired of renting. Things like that.
Yeah.
Cheesy. Very, very broadly used, but they work.
Is your complex full of roaches? Let's get you into it.
Slumlord is done.
You done with your slumlord? Call us.
Nice.
So okay, so you go to a title company and they give you all the renters' information.
Yeah, you gotta give them
phone number.
Yes, you gotta give them the complex.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
you gotta say this address, at this complex, the name of the complex, like San Marcos or something like that, and then they pull that data for you.
And then you just send the
And then I
text
skip
back.
trace it,
Yeah.
and then I text it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, man. That's a really good idea.
So what we should do is we should figure out how to do that on a broader scale.
Yeah, mass level.
Right.
Yeah,
I already have the notes.
Get some more.
Already on.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely do that. Get some more buyers and
But
stuff.
you know, it's funny because that's one of the things that we were talking about this morning was, okay, well, how, we need to start brainstorming on generating more retail leads.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're coming in, we have our system that we use for the leads that we have. I just feel like we need more.
Yeah, we do.
It's
Definitely.
the law of numbers, right?
Yes.
So
Yep. And I do the same for subdivisions. For subdivisions, you text, want to know the value of your house, and then give them a website like our lead
No, the one that we have? Yeah,
for
okay.
home values or
Okay.
stuff like that, and then they go there and then they capture our system captures the lead.
Okay.
You mentioned that you were using Scipio for text messaging, things like that, and you don't never hit the 5,000 marker.
I don't.
We brought you into our system for lead generation, and within the first month, you completely wiped out all the text messages that we've never been able to cap yet. So that was a good story to have. Out of nowhere, I got 5 different emails and a few text messages. I can't text anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me figure out why.
Right.
Yep. Sorry. Well, we had a couple of.
No, it's good.
These, if times were different, I'm pretty sure that from that list that we blasted,
Yeah,
we would have gotten a couple of buyers.
we'll keep it.
Because they're warm.
Right.
Yep.
They're warm. But if times were different, I'm pretty sure they would be hot.
Things are going to go back to normal, or what we want to consider the new norm, and then we just keep at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Follow up is key.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow up.
Anybody in the real estate game, follow up is key.
Big time.
Yeah.
And that's why we hire that assistant to make sure we do. We're constantly
Follow up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Constantly.
From those leads, some of those leads are old,
Yeah,
and I have seen responses like, dude, we already sold and bought.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
old leads of that I got that I never followed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they work.
Yeah.
I mean, follow up is like you
It's
said, follow up
key.
is
Yep.
key. You
Yeah.
must follow up.
Yeah. And if the earlier you create the system for that follow-up,
Correct.
the better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always been that. That's always been the case. So.
And that's another thing. Well, you talked about how we doubled down on systems. That's another thing that we did. Well, as COVID approached
Right.
and started, in fact, we took our VA that we had, we put them on the system, we started a follow-up process. Like, we've expanded, pun intended,
Right.
a lot of our systems to basically do all that follow-up.
Right.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, so there were holes and I'll elaborate on
Yeah,
it because one of the things that I noticed is that we would get leads, right? We'd assign them out to a realtor, and then all of a sudden that it's gone.
That was it.
Yeah.
Right, that was it, right? And we were like, okay, that's not working, right? We're like, it's not working. The buyer's not applying for a loan. We're not moving that process forward, right? Because it's a process, right? Buyer calls in, they're interested in buying a house, and then they need to talk to the realtor because the realtor needs to figure out where they want to buy and what's the best thing, what's their needs for their family life, and so on and so forth. And then from there, they got to be transferred over to a loan officer, right? The loan officer has to pre-qualify, unless it's cash, right? Very unlikely that we have cash leads, but there are some. And then from there, right, that loan officer has to go ahead and get them pre-qualified, right? So in case anybody's interested in buying a house, right, that's the system. And then usually there's a drop-off. We assign the lead to the realtor. The realtor either follows up once or twice and then never talks to them again, and then, or we also assigned it to the loan officer, and then they followed up once or twice, and then that was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we did is that we created inside of our CRM. There's a process, but we had our VA assign the leads, right? And then follow up every 2 days.
Yes.
Yep.
To both the real estate agent and also to the loan officer, right? And if they never got a response from it, that VA gives a phone call to the buyer,
Yep.
right? Then all of a sudden we start doing more and seeing how hot they are. Yeah. And that's increasing the heat. Yeah. From that VA, they give us KPIs every single week, and we know exactly what leads are now converting. Mm-hmm. So, and we started to see that conversion ratio during this COVID going higher. So just a little bit of feedback, a little bit of knowledge on how we set that up. So,
And for like a realtor or someone that's newly catching this, a KPI is a key performance indicator. Mm-hmm. And it's basically just a way to track what's going on.
Right. So how many leads were called? How many leads came in? Mm-hmm. How many leads were called? How many leads were assigned? How many leads actually applied for a loan? Right, and then from there, how many leads do we have pre-qualified? Yep. Based off of those numbers, you should have X number of deals. Yep. It's that simple, right? Exactly. The realtor is doing their job, and don't take it the wrong way, but even if they're doing a half-ass job, the numbers come out, right?
Yes.
It just X equals Y, and that's it, right? So there's the end result. So I'm blessed to do this with you guys, but it's been a journey, and and still we need some refinement, right? Yeah. We need some refinement, but
you always have to grow,
right? You always have to, right.
So you learn something, and you should always continue to be learning. As I just said, perfect English, right? And then you should grow with what you learned. So, and we're always on that stretch of road, I guess you would say, or the path, the journey.
I know. So, and we've seen tons of growth from you.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys are like, here's what we do. You show me, especially in the wholesale end, like this is XYZ with how wholesale works, and basically I was like, well, let's go into a different market. You guys were open to it, and here we are.
Right, exactly. So and it's we're in May, right? And you started in January?
December.
We didn't really go into Wisconsin until at least end of February, maybe beginning of March,
right? And now five houses. Now these are rental homes,
yes,
right? So we have one fix and flip there, one fix and flip, and four rentals.
We have another flip in the pipeline and another rental in the pipeline
as well. And we found out about funding right now too.
Yeah,
so I'm super excited. But and that's amazing, right? This is you've been doing it 6-7 months, and all of a sudden it can happen.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? And so it's surrounded by the right people and making sure you got all in alignment and all that stuff. So
I mean, I have that effect.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm the right people. It's a joke.
Right on.
All right. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you got?
A text.
There you go.
Exactly. He's working back and forth. Exactly. I am shut down right now.
So Jorge, what's your? Do you have a strategy? I know there's still a lot of uncertainty with this COVID. I know we're starting to open up here in Arizona. Do you have a strategy, or do you have anything in mind that you have planned for the rest of the year? I know we're almost into the half of the year. So is there anything that you have plans for the rest of the year?
I really don't have any plans. Just continue doing what I'm doing.
Which is good.
I just got a VA, which is part of my goals for the future is to have that VA very, very well trained, and have her help me with the text messaging and lead generation on Facebook and those kind of things. So I guess I do have a plan. For the rest of the year, I will try to expand my VA force. Yeah. If she works out, maybe I'm very positive that she's going to work out, because I bought some lead generation strategies, ideas, and different things for Facebook. It's just a little program that they sell online, and she's gonna follow it. And if it works out, then I'll have more clients, and I'll be able to afford another one. If each one of them brings me deals,
that's definitely good to get.
So that's the plan.
That's the goal.
Continue expanding.
Okay,
there you go.
That's good.
And provide you more. One thing I can maybe piggyback off on that, how can we help, essentially. So, offline, let us know where we can help and what we can do. Yes, we want you to grow, expand as much as we are. So continue the growth.
Yep, sure, definitely.
Yeah, you guys are not shy about putting that Expanse.
No, absolutely not.
Selling the Expanse word. And all that stuff.
Well, we're here to expand.
Right on.
All right. Well, it was a great show. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to throw in there?
No, I mean, it was a good short, we were telling everybody what's going on with COVID. I mean, I know COVID's in the media constantly, and every single podcast under the sun is talking about COVID, but no one's really talking about like the positives. They're all talking about the virus and what could be happening, and you guys need to grow. Everybody needs to grow. So
definitely. Don't
figure out your path.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is, we'll probably get some flack.
Yes.
Slack because we're not wearing masks. We're all inside of a room, and all of a sudden the virus is we're infecting each other. But I mean,
and we're talking about how we were working through COVID.
Right.
So it's
I know. But you know what? At the same point in time, it's like, we're doing what's best for us and for our families, right?
And we are. I mean, don't get just because we're in the room right here, right now, doesn't mean we're not. We are still taking
precautions.
Right? Exactly. We
did social distance when things started. I mean, we haven't
done a podcast like this since everything started.
Right. And then if we went out to properties, we did wear masks. We had gloves. We had hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Did all that.
So we are taking
precautions. Haven't been in touch with a lot of people. So
right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is your first exposure. Right. He's going to go home. He's going to have to wash down.
No, it's not my first exposure, but I've been taking the necessary precautions.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just weird. You know what's funny is when you go to meet somebody brand new, your first reaction is like to shake the hands. It's like,
and you're like,
you get that little awkwardness or whatever, and it's like, the little foot or whatever. And it's like, So I was like, okay, air high five.
Yeah. we kind of had like a brief conversation about this yesterday. It's like, oh well, do you believe in it? Do you not? And you're like, okay, well, that's whatever. But for the most part, we're being what's the word? Conscious about the person we're interacting with.
Yes. Right.
Are they sensitive about it?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to be sensitive about it.
Right.
Someone not sensitive, then okay, well, I won't wear gloves and masks.
Right. And I have yet to encounter any, because I've been going out there showing houses and everything. I have yet to encounter any of my clients. I mean, for the most part, everybody just doesn't want to say, shake hands or anything. But some wear masks, some don't. Some.
I didn't need COVID-19 to not want to shake hands.
Right. I just didn't like shaking hands. But no, it's been. I mean, like I said, everybody's got their own different methods of dealing with it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So, and it just takes us a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
Getting accustomed to it and stuff.
But hopefully everything is everything is starting to come down now. Like I said, we're open again, and hopefully we learn from it and keep on moving forward.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of learning, I wanted to add to the realtors that are watching us. I wanted to invite you guys to take a look at our team and get in touch with us. Real estate is a team sport.
Yes,
like soccer. You can't play alone. You just can't. And I tried it, and it didn't work.
I agree.
Yeah.
Check us out. Give us a call. See what we're all about.
Yeah.
For a new realtor out there, do you have a little piece of advice?
Yes.
For a new realtor?
Yes, definitely. The leads are not going to create themselves.
There you go.
You gotta put in the work, put in the time, and call us.
Yeah.
That is a good advice. Call us.
Right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, as George said earlier in the episode, make sure that you check out the bio, see all the links for the sponsors in our shows. And then, hit us up.
Yep, exactly. So, batch services, lead to cash, our mentoring program, Expanse Real Estate Team, and we have systems too. It's Cash Now Systems. We'll probably change that name, but we have systems for CRMs and all your tracking needs for KPIs. All right. Thank you. Mahalo.